Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, Mu'mineen. Um, my name is Dr. Muhammad Ali Naqvi, and we did some health checks earlier in the day, and I'm going to do a small talk, 10 minutes. I know all of you are fasting, so I don't want to bore you with this, but just to create an awareness, really, what we need to be looking for. So, just to summarize, we did some blood check, some health check, which include the blood pressure, the diabetes check, the pulse, the oxygen level in the body, and the BMI. And I think all these things are very important together for our health and well-being. The reason to do this, just very briefly, is because most of us do suffer from high blood pressure, diabetes, but not we are not aware of it, and it is something that can lead to a serious complication later in the life if it's not been diagnosed at the right time. So, first things first, how are you feeling today? I know most of us are fasting, so we would be feeling a bit tired. I'm feeling a bit tired as well. I'm a bit exhausted. It's nearly the iftar time. But generally, how are we feeling today? If you're feeling any of these signs in red, feeling sluggish, lightheaded, exhausted, aches and pains, dull and down, in a normal day, I'm talking about aside from Ramzan. Why is that? Why are you feeling like this? If there's no other reason, then we need to think, why are we feeling exhausted? Why are you feeling tired? Is there any reason? Is it something that we need to get checked? I prepared a small video, but I'm not going to play it because when I did the health checks earlier, I realized that this is not relevant to the discussion that I'm going to do. 10 minutes, and it's like 2-3 minutes, so it will take a lot of time. So I'm just going to focus on very important parts of what we are going to talk. So it's a matter of the heart. I was speaking to some of the brothers earlier, and I was very glad to know that, mashallah, the community is very, very well aware of a good health and well-being, and they know how to keep themselves fit. But high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, obesity, and poor diet, together they all directly or indirectly affect the heart, and we need to be very, very well aware of the signs and symptoms of high blood pressure, high blood sugar, low blood sugar, high cholesterol, what our actual BMI and what our actual weight should be, depending on our height and weight. And we did some check earlier, and mashallah, the community generally, I must say, they're quite fit. In fact, they are underweight rather than overweight, so that's a very good thing. Now, what we need to be looking for? Blood pressure. We need to know what is our ideal target blood pressure control should be. It's good that we did this check earlier because I realized that most of the people, they feel well in their self. The blood pressure is a bit on the higher side, but they don't think that they've got high blood pressure, which is fine. It can be just one-off reading, but we need to know why it's a bit high. So, what should be the ideal reading? I will let you know in the next slide. What should be our average cholesterol? What are the symptoms of diabetes that we need to be looking for? This is a small thing that I'm going to talk in the next slide. Are we smoking? If not, don't start. If we are, try to quit it. Physical activity. NHS England says at least 150 minutes of good physical activity, which can be brisk walking, jogging, yoga, whatever prefers you, for a week of 150 minutes is normally quite good for a general health and well-being. It affects the heart, it affects your mood, it affects your confidence, and generally you feel positive about life if you do at least 150 minutes of physical activity in any shape or form that prefers you. You can do that. Now, just mention about the diabetes. If any of us is having symptoms of frequent urination, going to toilet more often, mainly in the night time, unusual and unexplained weight loss, increased thirst, increased tiredness, get in touch with a doctor. You may be suffering from diabetes without knowing, so it just needs to be checked. And because we did some checks earlier, the blood glucose normally is fine, but this is not a reliable check. The reason I'm saying this, to get in touch with a doctor, there is a test which gives you the average control for the last 3 months, which called HbA1c, and that is the most reliable indicator to know if anyone has got high blood sugar or not, or diabetes or not. If any of these signs are happening to any of you in your usual days, please get in touch with the doctor and say that I'm having these signs. Do I need to get checked for the diabetes? Again, low blood sugar. Low blood sugar is something that is not. Some of the brothers earlier I've checked, they have got high blood. They've got diabetes, but the signs of low blood sugar are very important, especially in the month of Ramadan, and because if it's not treated and identified on time, it can lead to a problem like coma. So if you're feeling Generally, if you're feeling lethargic, tired, hungry, irritable, numbness sensation and tingling around the mouth, and if you're feeling any sensations of sweating, then you may be suffering from low blood sugar. Get your blood sugar checked. And if it's low, do what you need to do. Eat some sugary candy, eat some glucose gel or something. There are lots of things in the market, but you need to get it checked. Because again, all of these things, pale skin, fatigue, shaking, these are not normal. If you are having this, you need to ask yourself, why am I having these symptoms? Do I need to get it checked? And this is not only related to the people who have got diabetes, it's generalized. Any of us can have it, I can have it. So if we are having, we need to check our blood sugar. The whole point of this discussion, very small, is just to literally create an awareness, really, and just we need to look after ourselves. All of us are, mashallah, very sensible members. We have got family. We need to give time to them, and we need to lead a healthy life. 30% of all adults in the UK suffer from high blood pressure. These are the number that is diagnosed on the register of NHS. So lots of them have got high blood pressure but not been diagnosed. I spoke to some of the brother earlier, and they have got high blood pressure, but they said, "Oh, we are not suffering from high blood pressure. Nobody told us, and we haven't got it checked." If you haven't got it checked with these readings, get it checked now, and I'll tell you what your average reading should be. So I'm not scaring anyone, but it's just a general research that the NHS did recently. 1 in 4 of adults suffer from high blood pressure, and if it's not controlled, around half of the cardiac problems and the problem with kidneys are related to high blood pressure. Also, it's the third biggest common cause or risk factor for premature disability and death if it's not controlled. So again, see, simple things, high blood pressure can be easily treatable with lifestyle modification, with some dietary advice, and with some medication. But if it's not been diagnosed, it can lead to a serious problem. And sometimes things are too late to be reversed. So that's just a small chart. Ideally, your blood pressure should be in the range of 120/80 or less than that. If it's in that range, excellent. Continue what you're doing. You don't need to do anything extra. If it's in the range of 121 to 139 over 81 to 89, the lower reading, that means your blood pressure is higher than it should be. And if it is, then again, you need to review what is your salt intake, what is your level of exercise, do you need to go on some sort of weight reduction program. All these sorts of things makes a difference, so you need to know. And if your blood pressure is 140/90 or above, then you may be suffering from high blood pressure. So just saying that, oh no, that's normal for me, it's no good. We need to get it checked, because we need to get it sorted sooner rather than later, because again, as I said, it can lead to serious complication. And bearing in mind, blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, age is not a criteria. So if you say I'm just 30, 35 or 25, doesn't matter. You can still have high blood pressure, you can still have high cholesterol, you can still have diabetes. So you need to get this checked. This is very important. And again, you can be 25 suffering from high blood pressure, and you can be 60 without any problems. Depend how you lead your life. Weight control, another important issue. I mean, obviously lead to serious problems like low mood, lack of confidence, pain in joints and ache, and unfortunately you feel negative about everything if you've got high weight. The reason I'm saying it, because if someone has got a high weight or categorized in the list of obesity, you may be doing all what you need to do in your daily life, but you're not enjoying it really. Why you're not enjoying it? I mean, something, let's say if I used to play football and I'm not enjoying it anymore, it may be because my weight is not right for my body. I need to get my weight checked, and it affects mood, affects confidence. What normally happens when we go on an exercise or in brisk walking, there are some relaxing hormones that's released from the body that makes you feel good, that makes you feel positive about everything, positive about coming to the mosque, positive about going out with friends, positive spending time with family, all these sorts of things. So your weight should be, it's the key indicator. If your weight is controlled, your blood pressure would be controlled, your sugar would be controlled, your cholesterol would be good, and your life would be good, basically. Alhamdulillah, we are in the blessed month of Ramadan, and this is the best time because our body is going through a natural detox process. Mashallah, all of you, most of you are fasting, and I know this is a very good time to continue this habit and this schedule after you finish Ramadan. The good exercise, healthy eating, and just a bit of an awareness, really. I mean, we need to have a rainbow diet. Rainbow diet means we need to have stuff like fruits, vegetables, We need carbs, we need fats, we need proteins, but we need to know how much proportion we need to have it. So just saying I've got all my fats in the diet, that's no good. The body needs fat. We need to have it. But how much we need to have, that's you need to know. There are some leaflets out there. I've put it there, and there are lots of very good apps that you can use from your mobile, and you can scan whatever you're eating, and that will give you your actual calorie intake, how much you need to take it, and that gives you how much you need to take depending on your BMI. And this was my last slide, and that brings me the end of this discussion. Again, it's a very short 10 minute discussion, and oh, mashallah, all of you are very sensible. I know that. It just create a bit of an awareness to know that these things are important. Don't ignore it. If it's not treated on time, it can lead to complication. If you have any further suggestions, we are more than I'm here for a while, so you can ask me. And if you have any further suggestion for any specific topics, we can speak to MC and organize that if possible. Thank you very much. Wal Muhammad wali Muhammad salawat. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you for that. Like you said, the stalls are there in the foyer, and in the ladies they're also having the stalls there as well. Just a quick announcement, there is a car blocking. If this is yours, then if you can move it as soon as possible. A blue Ford YC14 VYU. Blue Ford YC14 VYU, or if you know who it belongs to, please ask them to move it as soon as possible. Requested to recite Surah Fatiha and 3 times Surah Ikhlas for all those marhumin listed on the screen. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد صلوات